let's jump in to the last few boards of this match. And Team Fern, I don't know what's happened at the start of the day, but Après Bridge Champs was in the lead when we left off yesterday. Let me see if that is still the case. I know that they update the scores in real time. They are still in the lead, in fact. And it looks like the standings have separated a little bit, but there's still not such a large gap between fourth place and a couple of the teams that are chasing them. So we'll look at the standings after this match, once they finish the last couple of boards. But so Team Firm, a U.S. sponsor, but playing five-handed, and right now the sponsor is sitting out. I'm actually not that familiar with Barbara Firm. I guess I can look her up if she exists. Barbara Firm is an American world champion bridge player. She won the World Bridge Series mixed teams in 2022. And she also finished second in the Women's Swiss at some NABC about 10 years ago. Fascinating. Let me see this event. So she probably played with, okay, well, the team was Brink, Driver, and Device. 16th World Bridge Series. Okay, so this is, I guess, like the equivalent of the Bermuda Bowl, but it was during an off year, so it wasn't called the Wuhan Cup. But yeah, anyway, it looks like a sponsor to me, based on the players that have been on both teams. But if you have more information, let me know, of course. East-West got to 4 hearts. They did at the other table as well. No trump opener, Texas transfer. And North finds a club lead, which looks like a good start to the defense. If the defenders play 3 rounds of clubs immediately, Declare is going to have some trouble picking up the heart suit. Now, could they do so with the help of a trump coup? They would need to ruff 3 cards in the east hand and then still get back to the west hand. Ooh, South played the ace of clubs at trick 1. I'm not sure I understand the ace of clubs. Hey, Babs. You were watching Brink and Driver earlier. I think they're sitting at the other table. Brink put down a bad dummy and Boss told him that he was courageous. Sometimes you have to be courageous at teams. So 3 rounds of clubs. Declare now is in the position where if they guess the Jack of Hearts, they'll be able to make the contract. I think it might have been makeable double dummy, even after 3 rounds of clubs, but I don't think Declare would have taken the line of play necessary to make the contract. 10 of hearts. Sounds like Declare has gone wrong in the heart suit. I mean, based on the spot card leads, it might look as if North is the one short in clubs. I mean, not because like the 2 couldn't be from 5. But normally when you lead an extreme spot like that, it's often because you don't have a choice of other spots. I mean, there's like a little bit of a restricted choice. I know that North would lead the 2 of clubs from a 5-card suit, obviously, but I think it's a little bit more likely that North started with 3. Oh, heart to the king. North takes the ace. I guess plays a diamond. Nothing else to do. I mean, certainly we don't play a heart. There is a mild chance that that Declare started with the stiff king. Okay, well done by Mono, but maybe a missed opportunity for North-South for the Upright Bridge Champs team. If South had just won the Jack of Clubs at Trick 1. I mean, it's hard to say how it costs because South is looking at a Doubleton Diamond. So even if Declare tries to play 3 rounds of diamonds to pitch a club, you just get to ruff. Then you can cash your ace of clubs. I guess West could have ace, queen, 4th of spades and pitch on the 3rd round of spades. But, you know, like at that point, we're giving Declare what? Ace, queen of spades, king of clubs. They don't have lost stuff in the red suits. Is that really what we're playing partner for? And even if then, can we beat the contract if that's the lie of cards? It feels like it might be more profitable to try and win the Jack of Clubs, but I could be wrong. A heart, a no trump, 2 clubs, gazilli from East. So a lot of the time it's just going to be a hand with hearts and clubs, but here it's showing 17 or more high card points. He's got an 18 count. 2 diamonds, 8 or more high card points artificial, game forcing opposite the strong hand. So now when East bids anything other than 2 hearts, that's going to be a game force for East-West, which is nice. 2-0 balanced hand type. So I assume West just bids 3-0, but I'm wondering, is there any chance that they're missing a spade stopper? Looks like West has decided to take things a little bit slower. 3 clubs seems reasonable. So 3 diamonds showing diamonds. 3 clubs might have just been an asking bid, in fact. Like East could be 5-3-3-2 for this sequence. East could be 5-4-2-2 as they are. And so 3 diamonds might just show a 4-card diamond suit, 2-2 in the black suits. West could try 3 hearts. We presume that West has already denied 3-card heart support by not bidding 3 hearts over 2-0, or not bidding like 3 hearts over 2 clubs or something to show the 3-card limit raise, if that's possible in their system. I know that some of the European players will end up utilizing 2 no trump to show like either a 3 or 4 card limit raise or better, which still blows my mind. I can't imagine how that's possibly playable. Oh, we're getting an alert on 3 clubs. Is that what we've undone for? Yes, we are getting an alert on 3 clubs. Yeah, West could be a little bit nervous that, I mean, if you kind of switch the black suits in East's hand, for one thing, you would have to call the director for 2 ace of clubs, but Queen Doubleton of spades might not be enough to protect the spade suit. So I think we'll probably get a 3-heart bid. I mean, unless they're in some sort of relay. Al Hollander seems to think that they're in a relay. He's typing furiously in the chat. But most of the bids just seem fairly natural to me, so I don't think we need a lot of help explaining what's going on, at least for the time being. Can they make 6 diamonds if they end up there? Maybe that's an interesting question to ask. Hearts kind of come home. You'll have to hook north for the heart queen. That is probably what Mono's thinking about right now, is can we just be making 6 of a minor, depending on which 4-card minor partner has? Supposedly 3 diamonds doesn't show diamonds. It's just some 5, 4, 2, 2. It looks like we're probably short. A spade lead would end up... Well, okay, I think double dummy we can make 6 diamonds, but no one's going to, right? It would require hooking the 9 of diamonds. No, it's still not good enough. I was thinking we could pull 2 rounds of trumps and then cash hearts pitching spades and plan to rough the second spade in the west hand, but north would just rough in. And then return, I guess, a spade, and eventually north would still get the club king. So yeah, there's no way to make 6 diamonds as far as I can tell. Well, what's happened? West bid 3 hearts, which was kind of the bid I was expecting, but it looks like they are in some sort of asking sequence. 3 hearts, 3 no, probably showing 5, 4, 2, 2 with diamonds. 4 diamonds confirming diamonds is trump. 4 no trump might be key card. 5 diamonds shows 1. And East does bid 6 diamonds. I suppose we're going to find out. Now it's a lot harder for North to lead a spade. I mean, South had an obvious spade lead. You know, if the auction had just started in 2/1 style, a heart, a no trump, 2 diamonds, as most players would. I mean, some players might rebid 2 no with East Sand or whatever, but something along those lines, then East would be the one declaring and South would get off to the Queen of Spades lead. Now North has a bit of a problem. If he doesn't lead a spade, like if he just leads a trump, which I think is going to be his natural choice, then Declare actually can lead a club up to the Queen to pitch a spade. And then the question's going to be, does Declare... Well, there's still work to be done. Because if North blocks the club suit by winning the king of clubs on the first round and then pushes a spade through, if Declare tries to pitch the spade and basically play the hand as a cross ruff, Declare is going to be pretty disappointed, since North will ruff the ace of clubs. But Declare can succeed, I think, as long as they still hook the heart queen. I mean, this is not a good contract. I would say generally that's the case when you don't really have a source of tricks and you get to a slam on 28 highs combined. You only have 8 trumps between you. The hearts aren't really a source of tricks because you're missing that crucial card, the heart queen. Like if East had the queen of hearts, ace queen 5th instead of ace jack 5th, then slam would actually have pretty good play. Yeah, there's a diamond lead. So this is going to make Declare pretty happy. Win the diamond queen, lead a club has to be the first play. And when North goes up with the Club King, Declare is going to be excited about that development, but there's still a lot of work to do. So I guess the first question is, does South play the 8 of diamonds at trick 1? Probably. It seems unlikely that your 8 of diamonds is going to be useful later. We're short in hearts, but so is West. So South knows that even if they rough the 3rd round of hearts with the diamond 8, Declare will be able to overrough. Other table already finished play. Just waiting on the results here to see who ends up taking the match. But with this big defeat currently at the hands of Team Firm, De Boden has now taken the lead in the Swiss, or the round robin, I should say. We currently have De Boden, Après Bridge Champs in 2nd, Allfrey in 3rd, and Gillis in 4th. And there is a little bit of a gap between 4th and 5th that has separated the teams. Iceland 1 in 5th, and Firm sitting just behind in 6th. But it's about 5 VPs back, and there's only 1 match to go. Let me look at who all of the teams are playing in the final round. De Boden and Gillis, 2 of the teams at the top of the standings, are playing in the final round. Hey, EPL, good morning. Fern is playing up against Allard, which is another one of the top teams. Danish juniors are still at the bottom. Yeah, it's understandable that Denmark would send a lot of players to play. And of course, like, Christian Lehrman is a Danish junior, but he's not playing on the Danish juniors team. So I think they just like named the team not as their like actual countries like U26 roster, but just as a bunch of junior players who are from Denmark is my guess. So it would make sense that they're just in it for the experience because it's convenient for them to get to Copenhagen. Looking through the other top teams, so Allfrey has an easier round. They're playing up against Pharma Service, who's currently in 17th place. So Allfrey might be one of our lock-ins. Après Bridge Champs is playing up against Harris, who's in 20th place. So Après Bridge Champs is probably locked in to the top of the standings. And De Boden and Gillis would probably like to... Well, Gillis might need a bit of a win. They're currently sitting in 4th. What happened? Okay, so Declare did win the... South didn't play the 8 of diamonds at trick 1. I could go either way on that, but I think it's probably best to just play it immediately. And then Declare did lead a club, and North played a 2nd diamond. The 9 of diamonds is held. Yeah. Now, but... So with the 2nd round of diamonds being played, I think North should have played a spade to force the issue. Force Declare to figure out what they're doing immediately. Because now Declare can just go heart to the king. Oh, no, they can't. I'm sorry. Heart to the... I was going to say heart to the king, heart to the ace, heart ruff, club to the queen, heart ruff. And then spade to the ace and pull trumps, and they're good. But, of course, then they strand the club ace. Yeah, I think Declare still may go down at this point. It depends how honest South's signal on the 3 on that first club is. This isn't exactly a... Yeah, Declare is just going down. They're going to cash the club queen and then try and... pitch a spade on the club ace immediately. Jack of clubs gives them a little bit of pause, but North could do this from ace jack or king jack 10 fourth, king jack 10 third, probably even king jack third. So what happens if we go heart to the king and play the ace of clubs? North roughs, so we over rough. Oh, we have no entry back to take the heart finesse at that point. Gross. South just following up the line in clubs. I'm not sure I like this 5 of clubs play. The South can kind of see what's happening on the hand. Declare has to have the heart ace and spade ace, otherwise they wouldn't be in this contract, or they wouldn't have led a club to the queen at trick 2, basically. And so it seems as if Declare is trying to like cash the club ace at some point in the play before pulling all of the trumps. So it's not like it's always going to be the case that when we play a high club, Declare is going to misread the situation. Like, Declare should be well aware that we might false card. But if we had played like the 7 of clubs instead of the 5, then partner dumps the jack, and then declares like, oh, okay, I guess North has the 5 of clubs because people just naturally follow with their lowest spot cards. So, you know, somewhere close to like 90% of the time, I would prefer to conceal the 5. I mean, it's a similar situation to like concealing 2s on defense when you want to keep Declare guessing or keep the defenders guessing if you're concealing 2s as Declare. Whatever the lowest outstanding spot is basically a really key card for whoever holds it. And you often want to retain that card as long as possible. Yeah, I think this is just over. Heart to the king, heart to the ace, heart ref isn't going to work. So other table got to 4 hearts and made it, which seems like a little bit of a better contract. Let's see how they ended up getting there. West just opened a no trump on the 15 count. Makes things a little bit easier. Now East-West. Oh, whoops, wrong hand. Sorry. North opened a weak no trump in first seat favorable. 9 high card points. Beautiful. I think they play 8 to 12 unless they're in the ACBL for those guys. So this was an 8 to 12 no trump. Penalty double. 2 clubs by South, probably just clubs. Double, maybe suggesting penalties by West. Not sure. But East didn't read it that way. East bid 4 hearts. Okay, Declare pulled a trump. Cash the club ace, is now leading a heart. This gives them a chance, actually. Now the moment of truth. I think actually at this point we do hook the hearts now that we found out clubs are 5-2. This has to be percentage now. So I guess I take it all back. I said it was over, but Declare deciding to pull a 3rd round of trumps before crossing in hearts. Doesn't seem like the right line of play to me, but it is going to give Declare a chance here. So North has turned up with King Jack doubleton of clubs. North pitched a spade on the third club, but I guess that was always going to happen. So that doesn't give us a lot of information about North's spade holding. South can't have 5 spades, or at least probably doesn't have 5 spades because they didn't overcall spade over heart. So South is either 4-2-2-5 or South is 3-3-2-5. And if we weight those equally, I mean, it's a huge favorite to take the heart finesse right now. Is that true? Wait, maybe I'm wrong on that. Maybe it's like a huge dog to take the heart finesse. I guess we'll do a little bit of math while DeFranco mulls this over, but like, let's just, okay, he does take the heart finesse. So you pick up, when the hearts are 3-3 with the queen onside, it doesn't matter, but if the queen is offside, so you lose one of them. How do I simplify this calculation? I'm trying to like remove things that are equal. Well, they pick up 13 imps and Firm is dominating in this match. I have to imagine that means that they'll be pretty close to the 4th place spot with those 13 big imps. I am curious about this problem though at the end of play. So let's just assume for the sake of analysis that 4-2 hearts and 3-3 are equal. You lose to queen doubleton offside. You lose to queen third offside. You win against queen third onside, and you win against queen fourth onside. But heart to the ace would have won against all 3-3 splits, so queen third on and queen third off. So we're basically trading queen fourth on for queen third off and queen doubleton off. That, yeah, it doesn't seem percentage to me. But then I suppose we take into account the likelihood of the 4-2 split versus the 3-3 split. And in that case, it probably is right to take the hook. So I like what DeFranco did, ultimately. And I suppose that going all the way back then, pulling the third round of trumps is probably a good idea, because then you still have this guess at the end of play. I mean, if the club ace cashes, you're basically cold. You could have just claimed if the ace clubs were 4-3. So that's why I think it might have been technically better to just try that plan. But DeFranco had a table read, and he was correct. Could it have been because South played the 5 of clubs? We'll never know. Last board, East-West get to 3 diamonds. Diamond opener, 2 club overcall from North. North has a pretty nice hand, 14 count, despite the stiff king. Pass, pass, West balances 3 diamonds, saying, do you have a little bit of help for me, partner? And East did have a little bit of help, but not enough in the club suit to look for 3 no trump. So 130 and a push. Let's head to the results page. And is the other table still in play? No, the other table is done. Also, the results page is not loading for me. Excellent. Oh, found it. Here we go. Results. Just kidding. The results page is not loading. Okay, here we are. So DeBoden is in first. Gillis has moved all the way up into second place. They still have 1 board to play, but that last board looked pretty tame from what we saw. Après Bridge Champs and Allfrey sitting in 3rd and 4th. And there is about a 6 VP gap where Firm is behind Allfrey. Now, in the last match, I had mentioned that Allfrey has a pretty easy matchup. So does Après Bridge Champs. Gillis and DeBoden are playing up against each other in the very last round. So we can see that here. Whoop. Hello? Round 21. Hello? I just did this earlier. Oh, man. If I click on their team name, there we go. That does it. Gillis playing up against de Boden in the very final round of play. So, let's see. Is this going to take me back to the score? No, now it takes me to this list. There we go. So de Boden and Gillis playing in their last round. Firm and Allard playing. So Allard in 7th place right now. Firm sitting in 5th. And if Firm gets a big win, they might be able to overtake one of Gillis or de Boden. I know that there's a little bit of a bigger gap up to the first place spots, but no one is necessarily safe. And then we have Allfrey playing up against Pharma Service. So even though Allfrey is currently in 4th, if they have a nice solid victory there, they will definitely be in, because they'll overtake whichever team of de Boden and Gillis does poorly in that match. And then Après Bridge Champs has an easy matchup against Harris in their final round. Harris in 20th place. So those are going to be the tables to follow. Let's take a look at the Butler, see if anyone is still doing quite well. It looks like there might have been some sort of illness, or maybe Newt Blaskett or Blacksit. I can never pronounce that name. It just was only available to play 3 sets. Who knows? But Lars still topping the standings, and they've played every single board since they were subbed in. Plus 1.15, huge result. Bakke and Broglin for Team Gillis, sitting up close to 1. Then a bunch of the Swedes, Peter Frieden for Après Bridge Champs, the Rimstedt brothers, as well as Boss Driver playing for Team Firm, the Rombos playing for Team Allard, Klukowski and Kalita doing quite nicely. They've played every single board, 200 boards. They're plus 0.73 for Team Rubenstein, although Rubenstein is basically out at this point. Allfrey and Robson playing for Team Allfrey. Medalla and Grew, a bunch of the daisy chain pairs towards the middle of the pack, or middle high in the pack. Lehrman up here, he still hasn't played very much, but has done somewhat well for himself. About half an imp to the good. And so on down the standings, Bilda and Schultz, Norden and Tomasini. Okay. So let's head back. We'll wait for the next round to start. I guess we'll watch the matchup between Gillis and de Boden, but that might not be the most relevant matchup to the standings. I mean, it's true that one of those teams could slip from first place or the top 2 spots if one or the other does get a big victory. But I'm curious about if Team Firm can make a push to get into the top 4. Some of the earlier boards that we didn't get to see in this match. Oh, can't find them, unfortunately. But 3 spades doubled down 3 at one table, and 2 spades undoubled down 1. 12 imps to start things off. Then there was another slam on board 5 that we ended up missing. I think I came in midway through the play of board 7, but I didn't really follow what happened. Queen of Spades lead from Mono. Looks like a pretty natural lead to me on this auction. A club, a diamond, 1 no. So you aren't leading a diamond. And choosing between your 3-card majors, like honor, third is often a really good lead. So Queen of Spades, I mean, at imps, it's a good lead. At match points, not so much. Queen of Spades, East encourages. Declare played a club to the queen. Heart to the ace, and now has a club guess. They led the Jack of Diamonds. Oh, would that have been enough? They have 3 tricks, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, if Declare takes this diamond hook, that would be enough. Now, maybe they should have led the Jack of Diamonds at trick 2. There's no way that Declare just takes a diamond hook at trick 2. Yeah, and Mono does well not to cover. That would have given up the extra trick. Declare cashes the club ace. And now what? Hopes hearts split? Wait, what? They played another club. They hope that spades split. Oh, okay. So Declare could have still made it if they had played for hearts to split. But that Queen of Spades lead made life very difficult. We don't get to see what happened in the other room. But played from north, I bet East did lead a spade. We'll head to this table. Bakke, Broglen, Schultz, and Bilda. South opens a club showing 2+. North bids a diamond showing hearts. Or what? I don't really know. No alert. So it looks like VuGraph Operator is doing a good job with alerts, so maybe a diamond's just diamonds. Which means North is going to treat their hand as a game force. Makes sense to me. Otherwise, you would bypass the diamond suit to bid hearts. So East overcalls a spade, South raises diamonds. A little bit surprising on the South cards to not just rebid a no trump with a spade stopper. But I suppose from Bilda's perspective, he wants his partner to declare the no trump in case they have Queen Doubleton or something. That would protect his partner's spade holding from the opening lead. So 2 diamonds makes a lot of sense. Did we move? We did. Have you not been here for a week? Yeah, I moved apartments. So we got a new place, and hopefully things can get sorted. I'm still in the process of unpacking. I've got most of my stuff out. I mean, I guess you can see like a little corner of my big green screen, which is basically just a green sheet that is fastened. South finally admits to having a spade stopper. Now, is this where North wants to play? I think the answer is probably not. Just one spade stopper and a very weak diamond suit. Oh, you were here yesterday? So, yeah, I didn't have the green screen up yesterday. I put that up last night as I was completing more of my unpacking stuff. But yeah, there is a lot of space behind me, as you can kind of see. I don't know how much of that. Maybe at some point I'll do like an apartment virtual tour. It's not much, but it's like, I forget the square feet on it. It's also, I think, a little bit bigger than the square feet indicates, because there are some like, I'm in the basement of like a duplex house. And so there's some like shelving things that are not part of the floor space, but that like I have more room to like for storage, for example, which I've not really taken advantage of. I mean, I don't have a lot of stuff. My stuff fit in like 3 carloads or whatever. 3 no sounds tricky. I mean, Declare just has 9 top tricks with the Diamond King on side. I guess 10 top tricks. The King of Spades is going to take a trick immediately. But yeah, from North's perspective, maybe 5 diamonds would have been a better contract to push towards. I could definitely see that being the case. North probably a little bit worried that South might just hold 3 hearts, though. South could be 4-3-3 with 4 clubs or something like that. So spade lead. Around the king. I mean, Queen of Diamonds. Broglen's going to cover, which will make things easy. I don't really see any reason to hold up, but I guess it's fine. We can just duck trick one. Like, the reason to hold up would be if I guess we could take a finesse into West's hand, but still, West could just continue the jack of spades and East would duck and they would have communication. West 2-heart bid showed a spade fit, by the way. Good spade raise. Okay, Declare runs the diamonds, so Broglin pitches an encouraging club. East throws a spade. East will now pitch a heart. Oh, okay, a club. East will now pitch a heart. No, East is throwing all their spades. Bit surprised by that. Now East pitches a heart. The Queen of Clubs discard, trying to entice a club pitch from West. Cute by Bilda. Okay, club to the ace. The defense has the rest. $430 for a push. I would say this is good for both teams because they're currently sitting in first and second place, but I'm not actually sure if that's true. Also, the website is just unbelievably slow. It's the same thing we experienced with the Bermuda Bowl site. I guess a lot of people are trying to access it all at the same time, and that's causing it to be overloaded with server requests. Oh, yep. This is a new error. I've never seen this error before. Error establishing a database connection. Don't know what that means. East opens a club, 15 count. One spade overcall from South, nice hand. West doubles, negative, showing hearts. Two clubs, diamonds, transfers over one of a major double. Support double by East, it looks like. Or I'm not exactly sure system-wise because East-West are obviously not playing a strong no-trump here. Maybe double by East is necessary in these support double scenarios to just show the strong no-trump. I think I've heard that before. Jake, you're telling me that the database is not accessible. I mean, how would knowing that the database is inaccessible give away information? Hey! Okay, it finally loaded. Now let's see if I can get to the results page. So North-South get to 2 diamonds. Yeah, if this match ends in a tie, DeBoden is guaranteed to be in. I mean, mostly, I would say. No, they are guaranteed. If DeBoden gets 10 VPs in this match, they're guaranteed to be in. So East-West are the ones that are in a little bit of danger if this match ends in a tie, but probably not much. The other table, East-West got to 2 hearts in the 4-3 Fed. Queen of Hearts opening lead, which holds trick 1. East continues the 8 of hearts. And I guess we'll now see a diamond come through. So ace, king of diamonds, and another diamond, I guess. And Declare's still going to lose 2 spades, a heart, and a diamond from here for 1 down. So this will be 4 imps going the way of Gillis, which is good news for them. Certainly cash the king of spades at this point. Get a signal from partner. Nah, okay, Declare just claims. That makes sense. Good result. So is this going to flip the standings? Does that mean DeBoden is now the one at risk if Team Firm has a big round? Not sure. I will try and keep people updated. The explanation for, I feel like there might be a little bit of a delay on someone's end, but yeah, thanks. Long and theoretical explanation. I mean, I took a graduate level course in databases, but, and I've taken an undergraduate course on like white hat hacking, but I'm not that familiar with either of them. So I will take your word for it that it is a complicated topic. 1 no, pass. What is North's 1 no trump? I guess it's 15 to 17. It's a 17 count. I mean, it's a pretty good 17. But I do understand wanting to right side those queen doubletons as potential stoppers. So 2 clubs by West looks like clubs and a major to me. 2 clubs, pass, double, pass. East is going to balance with 2 diamonds. I should see a double by South. Well, I don't know anymore. I mean, South has already been pretty aggressive with their reopening double. I don't think South was hoping that partner would pass 2 clubs doubled with just 1 ace in hand. So this is probably why Schultz is a little bit scared of doubling a second time. Normally, when you have 4 trumps in a spot like this, you just double. Your partner has said they can't play in clubs. Yeah, and so Schultz does decide to pass. I mean, how bad would it have been? Declare loses 2 diamonds. They lose 2 spades. And that's it. So Declare would have made an over trick. It looks like a pretty good decision. Baque leads the jack of diamonds. Aha, I see. Thanks, Jake, for clarifying. Yeah, that would make sense. I'm sure you understand a lot more about it than I do, but you can kind of glean some insight into how bad certain vulnerabilities are in software, because there's always going to be some vulnerability in every software. It's impossible to get rid of all of the bugs. But if a company specifically tells you, hey, this is a big problem, maybe they've been affected by it in the past, or maybe it's just that they understand that theoretically this is a big issue. So I appreciate the insight. Declare does read the diamond suit, or read the opening diamond lead. And so now what? With 2 diamonds, a club, and 4 trumps, they still don't have enough tricks. Declare leads a club. West ducks. So I think we run the 5 of clubs, or maybe play a club to the 8 here. Seems correct. Good play by Bilda. You know, it's not easy for West to just duck the ace king of clubs in a spot like this. Maybe they should, but I think that's such a big play to make. So club to the 8 and king. I assume East gives their partner diamond ruff. Now trump, probably. Cut down on Declare's ability to cross ruff. I mean, maybe Broglen decides that it's better to try and force Declare by going like ace of hearts, heart. Hope that partner can play a bunch of hearts. But the thread and cross ruff is, I think, a little bit more worrisome for the defenders. So and what happens if West does play back a trump here? If Declare pulls trumps and say knocks out the club ace, like ace king of spades, club to the 10, third round of spades, queen of clubs, Declare's still going to lose 2 more club tricks and 2 more hearts. So that doesn't work. I think they have to play clubs back immediately. East would then be able to ruff to protect partner's ace of clubs, at least for the time being. Then cross and hearts and play a second trump, but it looks like Declare does get to ruff out. Well, you know, maybe it actually is good enough if West had played a spade back and then East had ruffed the second round of clubs. They might have been able to beat this a trick, but now with the ace of clubs being played, Declare just has a very easy time roughing that 7 of clubs with the 10 of spades and pulling trumps. So 2 spades making 2. The other table did make a no trump on the north-south cards. Did they also open a no trump? They did. I mean, 5-4-2-2 often is a little bit too good with 17 highs to open a no trump, but here both North's judged Queen Doubleton and both red suits. They wanted to protect those holdings. Pretty reasonable thing to do, IMO. Yeah, this ace of clubs cashing, and now West realizes that he has made a pretty big error. So I think we're going to see low heart, heart back to the ace, and then another club, hoping that East has like Jack Doubleton and spades. But to no avail. Yeah, Broglen might realize that he has messed up at this point. So this will be one imp going the way of de Boden for making a larger score. 110 versus 90. Currently, standings-wise, at the start of this segment, we still have Firm about 6.5 VPs out of 4th. Allfray holds on to that position. De Boden has dropped to 3rd with this 4-0 swing that happened on board 2, and Après Bridge Champs is up in 2nd. Yep, Broglen plays a club back, ruffed and over ruffed, and Declare just gives up 2 hearts. All right, pretty classic 3 spade opener from East. And then Schultz is going to have a choice. With 20 highs, You might be a little bit nervous that if you pass, partner's not going to have enough to reopen. So South probably just has to bid 3 now over 3 spades. There it is. All pass. Looks like that might have happened at the other table as well. Yep, same exact auction. I mean, if you were convinced that partner would reopen with double always on this hand, then certainly you pass as South. Brogland on lead does decide to lead his own suit, diamonds. That's going to be very fortunate for him, but it looks like Declare has enough tricks. 5 clubs and 3 quick tricks, or 4 quick tricks outside clubs. Ace, king of spades, ace of hearts, ace of diamonds. So is there a chance for an over trick? Maybe. Maybe. I mean, there's some possibility that West could get strip squeezed, I suppose. Diamond to the queen at trick 1. A diamond comes back. And yeah, now because East has squandered, if we put it that way, the diamond queen, the 10 of diamonds is a threat against West, and Declare could cash the ace, king of spades, and then run 5 rounds of clubs, and eventually throw West in with the diamond 10. Maybe that's the right line of play. You would need to read the distribution a little bit, and I think Brogland would do a decent job of protecting what his hand looks like, as well as Bakke. Bakke will just end up pitching spades on the run of clubs. Probably what Schultz is thinking about. So if East had stuck in the 9 of diamonds at trick 1, would that have prevented this? I think the answer is no. Because Declare has the ability to lead a club towards the queen and then lead a spade up. East would have to split. Now we can't win the king of spades and cash the ace, and we still have a spade stopper in the 10-8 of spades. Then we run 5 rounds of clubs, pitching 3 hearts, and then we exit the 10 of diamonds. And if East wins, East is down to just spades. They'll have to set up our spade 10. And if West wins, then West is end played into leading into our ace, queen of hearts after they cash out diamonds. So there doesn't appear to be any way, double dummy, for the defense to actually hold Declare to 9 tricks. And it looks like Schultz is going after the strip and throw in. Hey, Shift. Here for the final sets today. That's correct. We got just one more match, and who's going to be the first one out? It could be the U.S.-sponsored team Firm, with that team has Driver and Brink, and Mono and DeFranco is the 4 players playing right now. Oh, and in fact, they've been overtaken by Iceland 1. There's still a bit of a separation between 4th and 5th place, though. So I'm not convinced that which team is really competing for 4th But Allfrey is having a very slow match. They still haven't completed one board in this set. A little bit surprising. That first board felt relatively straightforward, but maybe someone bid to 6 diamonds. That contract would make. Barb should have hired better pros. Yeah, I think so. I think that's the reason. I mean, look, none of those guys made it past the quarterfinals of the Bermuda Bowl. So, yeah, they're slipping. Their time is over. That's your firm belief? Thank you. What if it's Ferm? Is that possible that I've been mispronouncing it this whole time? No, no way. I've never mispronounced anything in my life, especially not a bridge player's last name. Well, with the one pick up to DeBoden, they've now once again reclaimed their second place position. They had number 1 of the world in their team, Zimmerman. Zimmerman, number 1 in the world. I don't think he's playing in this event. It's probably not a big enough event for him. You know, what is it, a 10,000 euro prize or something? In the Bermuda Bowl. Yeah, that's true. Exactly. I mean, if you can't win with Zimmerman on your team, how do you expect to win? 1 no, 3 no. That is a 9 count from North. Well, West did not get off to a club lead, which would have made Declare's life impossible. Declare has misguessed the hearts at trick 1. So heart to the 10 and king. The 8 of hearts might look like it comes from 3 small as well. I mean, the 8 of hearts is a little bit of a tricky lead. Other table also got to 3 now, also didn't get a club lead, and made 11 tricks. Yeah, 10 of diamonds. Definitely cover with the queen. So 10 of diamonds to the queen and king. Declare can safely cross back in spades if they want. Oh, just kidding. Other table did not make 3-0. I saw 3-0 plus 2, but it was 3-0 down 2 in the other room. Did they get a club lead? No, same heart lead. Went to the 10 and king. Same diamond at trick 2, covered by the queen and king. Declare elected to just play a diamond back immediately. Yeah, so now on a heart to the 9 and queen, West is going to have another opportunity. And I guess, what should we do as West? Do we switch to a low club or do we switch to ace and a club? Probably a low club. So that's what he chooses. Well, not much Declare can do now. North, South, or home, just drop the spade. 4 spades, 2 hearts, and a club from here. That would get them up to 9 tricks. I suppose the question is it better to run the jack of spades immediately? Goes up with the club king. Yeah, I think it is better to run the jack of spades immediately. Or we could try this, right? Like lead the jack of spades if they don't cover. Well, this is where poker comes into it. And I mean, I would say this is a kind of an important skill as declarer. Finding spots like this where you can be relatively confident that players will cover. I'm not sure that this is one of them, right? Because East can work out that if your hand really was ace king empty fourth of spades, then your best plan wouldn't be to like try and fake finesse the jack. It would just be to play for queen doubleton to fall. So East shouldn't really be covering the jack of spades here if they have it. If they have the queen. There's no indication on the auction that East would have the spade queen, right? I mean, it's not like West had a chance to bid anything or East had a chance to bid anything, so. But Schultz has given it a bit of a look. You know, sometimes it is tempting to just cover an honor with an honor every time you can. It's different that whole like 10 of diamonds covered by the queen or 9 of diamonds covered by the queen that happened at both of these tables on defense. That one West should be covering because there's a technical reason to do so. If you don't cover, then the 10 of diamonds just wins, or the 9 of diamonds might just win. I mean, the 9's a bit less clear at the other table, but the 10 you definitely want to cover, and you don't want to play the ace. That gives too much away. Like, no one would play the ace from ace doubleton or ace third there when declarer is about to misguess the diamond suit. Schultz really deep in the tank on this one about what to do on this trick. But I think percentage-wise, so I believe he led the jack because he was thinking of making this play. Unbelievable. No way, man. No way. I guess that's why they're in first place. I was going to say, I think the technical play, because we can pick up queen 9 fourth with East, which means we would pick up 3 small singletons with West, or in fact even 9 singleton with West, so 4 small singletons with West. It's better to take the first round finesse by leading the jack and running it than it is to cash the ace in this position. It's different than, say, holding, you know, ace king jack 10 opposite 4 small, where now you want to cash the ace, cross, take a finesse, cross, take a finesse, so that you can pick off a singleton queen offside. Here we could pick off singleton queen by cashing the ace, but then we lose to queen 9 fourth onside. A little bit more likely, or queen empty fourth onside, also a bit more likely. Pass, and no trump in third seat, could be anything, although here it's 15 to 17. 2 clubs, planning on some sort of garbage Stamen type hand. Double by North. What is that double? I mean, this is crazy because South might bid a game, which makes... Whoa! Yo, South might just bid 5 clubs here over 2 hearts. I mean, could South be thinking about slam? What if North happens to hold the club king, like king queen 6th of clubs instead of jack 6th, like he probably should have for this double? So maybe South will try 3 hearts. You would need some help in the diamond suit. But if North has like King, Queen, 6 of clubs and... No, maybe Slam's a bit too far off. Possible, but probably a little bit complicated. Like King, Queen of clubs, Queen, Jack of diamonds. That would be 8 high card points. We have 15, 23. I mean, it's possible. Yeah. I suppose maybe we do try 3 hearts, see if we can get to the slam. Dennis is going to be dying over there until he finds out that 5 clubs is just making. And I assume it's making even if Glare decides to ignore the diamond finesse. Is that right? We can afford to rough 3 rounds of hearts in the south hand, pitch 2 diamonds on the ace king of spades. It doesn't look like West is going to rough in fast enough to separate the East-West trump tricks. What a weird predicament for South, though. Bilda makes a crazy double. Double's real. I mean, double's supposed to be lead directing. That's what it's supposed to be. Which, oh my god, Bakke doubles. Of course he does. Ace King Doubleton of clubs. I mean, but this is crazy. I do think I like a 3 heart bid from South. Let's try for a slam. But Schultz knows his partner. He's played with Dennis a lot, and Dennis is very aggressive. I'm not sure I understand the double. I suppose maybe Dennis's theory. Okay, I finally figured it out. Dennis's theory is the opponents have a spade fit, and they're going to get to 4 spades. So at favorable vulnerability, I want to find a way to try and sacrifice against the opponent's contract, and therefore I'm going to tell partner I have clubs, and then if partner and I have a big club fit, partner will find a 5 club save. They might double 4 spades, but we don't really have any control over that. But yeah, if partner doesn't double 4 spades, then at least I will have showed them that I have some clubs. Spade opening lead. I'm sure Declare thinks the clubs are 3-0 based on the double. I mean, no guarantee, but East is a little bit more likely to have ace, king, queen third. This dummy hits. I wonder what South is thinking. So what's the play? Are we rejecting the diamond finesse? I think so. I think we pitch a diamond, unblock the heart ace, pitch another diamond on the spade king, rough a spade, rough a heart, rough a spade, rough a heart, ace of diamonds, diamond, rough, heart, rough. Now we've done everything we can, then we just exit a trump and get rewarded when the trumps split. That seems like the best plan. I mean, West would have led a singleton diamond if they have it, so no danger in getting a diamond roughed. And West would have transferred to spades if they had a 6-card suit for sure. So we can always afford to rough all 4 rounds of spades in the north hand, or play 4 rounds of spades with north roughing. And then hearts have to be, I assume hearts had to be 4-4, but I guess that's not true. Okay, maybe there's a little bit of danger in this line of play, but again, I think this is better than trying the diamond hook. We know West has some values somewhere, and if East really has ace, king, queen, third of clubs, then it doesn't really help us if they, it doesn't really affect us if they rough in. on the 4th round of hearts, for example. You would just really hate to go down 2 in this contract when you basically have a claim for down 1. But we'll see what Schultz does. I mean, he did very well on guessing that previous board, the queen doubleton of spades offside. Are these really good players? Yeah, so Backe and Brogland play for Team Switzerland, Zimmerman's team usually. They obviously finished 5th through 8th in the Bermuda Bowl last year. And Bilda and Schultz were on the silver medal team, who almost took down USA 1, winning gold in the Bermuda Bowl. So we could imagine that they're really good players, but that's always debatable sometimes. Good players can make really bad plays. Happens to everyone. Backe is baked today. I don't know about the recreational use of certain substances among many top players. At least not anymore. I used to know. Okay, it looks like he's going with the line of play that I had just kind of suggested. Cash 2 spades, pitching diamonds. Don't need to risk this diamond finesse. Unblock the ace of hearts. Rough 2 spades in the north hand to rough hearts. And then ace of diamonds, diamond rough to rough the last heart. This will be 550. The other table got to 2 no trump north. How? We need to figure that out. That's a puzzle in itself. A no trump penalty double. 2 spades. 2 no, intended as 2 places to play, and South didn't really understand. So South, or maybe it was intended as Lebensal, and South thought partner had hearts. Okay. Well, that makes sense. So North-South got to 2 no. And it looks like that contract came home. We have an exciting result on the following board as well. And it seems like Declare did exactly what I had suggested. Roughing the hearts, including roughing 2 spades in the north hand. Picks up 10 imps. De Boden way back on top. And now this is getting very scary for Gillis because, like I mentioned, if one of these teams blows out the other, then despite starting the round at the top 2 in the standings, they could fall to 5th. Although currently where the scores sit, there's still a 6 to 7 VP gap between 4th and 5th place. Three clubs was 1 imp better. If they had gotten to 3 clubs and made 5 instead of 2 no trump, that is true. Yep. East opens 2 diamonds, multi. So 2 diamonds, a week 2 in either major. I think these guys play 2 ranges of week 2, but I'm not certain. So this might be the very, very bad range, like, 3 to 7 high card points or something. So in context, East has maximum. 3 hearts, pass or correct. South never taking a call. Oh, but partner's a passed hand, so that makes some sense. And 4 spades from West, or is Brogland just going to drop it? If I'm right about East having the very weak range of multi, West knows they can't be making 4 spades, and the fact that North is a passed hand and South didn't bid over 3 spades might mean they can stop safely at the 3 level. Oh, South did double. Okay. This makes a bit more sense to me. That, even though North is a passed hand, South with a singleton spade and a 14 count would still like to go fishing for a game. 4 spades by West. Bilda has to decide. 5 hearts. Double? What are we doing? North might be a bit nervous, given the 3 heart bid, because this is often going to indicate length in both majors. Yeah, so North doubles. I think this is a practical choice. And how bad is this? Ace of diamonds. North is going to signal for clubs. North will play the 2 of diamonds at trick 1 as a please lead a club partner. South will underlead the club ace. I think. Maybe. Maybe not. Probably, though, right? I think so. Like, would North really signal for clubs with a small singleton? Possible, but then East has a pretty weird hand for their 2 spade opener. Yeah, I think we're going to see a high diamond and then a low club. So North can win the jack, cash the king, and upon finding out that they aren't getting a club ruff, just exit a trump, probably. 3 clubs, a heart, and a diamond coming. And Declare will still have a heart guess, but I think they'll get the guess right on this defense. So this should be down 2, but another 4 imps going the way of De Boden, who will further cement their lead. And oh boy, the scores are getting close. Here, I'm going to pull up the scores for just a second. Iceland 1 and Gillis, now the separation between 4th and 5th is less than a quarter of a VP. Wow. And these 4 imps for De Boden could swap those teams. So Iceland 1, a bunch of Icelandic players who would have guessed based on the name, most of whom I've never heard of, may well end up taking that 4th place spot after Gillis was sitting towards the top of the standings for most of the event. De Boden looks like they are cementing their 1st place position. So they'll get an extra, I think it was €3,000 prize just for winning the round robin. I get it. Iceland won instead of Iceland 1. Because they're all going to move to China with their newfound earnings and establish a giant mega corporation. South is really in the tank on what to lead. I don't really understand this huge tank. Just lead a high diamond. I mean, what's the alternative? Maybe South is trying to decide between ace or king of diamonds. I mean, a lot of players will play like ace attitude, king count at the 5 level or against like doubled games. So that could be what's going on, but I mean, what? That to me is an unbelievable lead. Yeah, this is just pure madness, right? Is it a good lead? It's going to make things a lot harder for the defense to untangle their club tricks. So okay, Declare wins the king of spades. Pulls another trump to avoid a club ruff in case the clubs were coming home. And now I'm pretty sure we just exit a diamond. And so, like, if South wins this diamond and then plays a heart, The defense is going to lose a club because Declara can strip the red suits and then throw north in to give a rough slough. Okay, but Declara decides to lead clubs themselves. You can't throw away the 7 of diamonds. Just watch. Yeah, I don't think most of these players, Dennis included, really care about the beer card all that much anymore. I mean, they'll probably take it in obvious places, but for the most part, they're just trying to take tricks. It's not like the junior competitions. I know, it's a little bit sad. Maybe bridge would be a more interesting game if the beer card had some sort of meaning. Like, especially at match points, if you get an extra, like, 7 points for scoring a beer, that would be cool. It would be a little bit of a strange rule to implement. You know, people who never went through the junior program or just, like, just wouldn't understand why this card mattered. All right, probably the 6 of diamonds comes back through here to ensure that South switches to a low heart. I would expect. Okay, Bilda unblocks the club king first, and now the 6 of diamonds. There it is. South should win the ace. Good play. And now South should play a low heart. Whatever South's count card in hearts would be helpful here. Dave Treadwell taught you the beer card? I've heard that name before. You can't blame it on the junior program that much. I think that's where most people will learn about the beer card. Because it's also relevant when you're a junior bridge player, you just want to get drunk all the time. So that it sort of overlaps with where people are in life, which makes sense. Schultz is just trying to decide if he wants to lead the Queen of Hearts or a low heart. That's all. No, you can't play this way. Yeah, that's not a play. Because now Declare can't get the heart guess wrong. Like, if South had the ace of hearts, South would not have given you the opportunity to go up with the king here and then pitch your other heart loser. Yeah, this is just makes Declare's life a lot easier. And I think if you do this, you definitely just lead the Queen of Hearts as South. Pocket giving this a big look, but he's eventually going to come to the realization that South's defense makes absolutely no sense if they have the heart ace. Shift, you never got shit-faced and tried to break dance in Scotland? What do you mean tried? I think everyone at some point in their lifetime has done that. Specifically in Scotland, though. I mean, definitely not in, like, the Olympics or anything. Pocket giving this a long look. I mean, yeah, he does get it right, but I mean, just, this defense from South hurts me so much. Cashing the club ace is such an unbelievably bad play. All right, board 18. So 4 imps go the way of Deboden. What is this hand? I mean, I will give you that this is the most distributional hand we've seen all event so far, at least that I've seen. But we've had a lot of, like, 8-4s. We've had 7-4s and 6-5s as well. So 7-5 is a new one. But yeah, it's kind of crazy. It doesn't look like East-West make all that much, though. East opens 2 clubs. I have no idea what that means. East and West both are going to try and play in their own suit. They might. I mean, maybe 2 clubs is just strong, and they could define it based on loser count. East has a 3-loser hand. Hearts, spades, and clubs are all losers. Diamonds is not. I know some people define their 2 club openers based on loser count. It's not my personal preference, and I don't think it's the preference of most Americans, or at least most expert Americans. There are non-experts who like to do it. But I'm not really sure what their agreements are for these guys, East-West. So 2 spades looks like a positive, 3 hearts is hearts. The way that I've seen it played is if the auction had gone 2 clubs, 2 diamonds, East probably would have bid 4 hearts to show a hand with a lot of playing strength, but one that doesn't have high card values. So it's made up based on loser count into the 2 club bid as opposed to high cards. And then West could push to slam if they had like a couple of key cards, but otherwise they would avoid doing so. So yeah, 2 spades, 3 hearts, 4 spades. West understandably went after playing in their suit with a void and partner's hearts. Ace of clubs lead from North is going to make Declarer's life very straightforward and easy. Now diamonds can go on the king, queen of clubs. So Declarer won't even need the diamonds to split later in the play. Just pull trumps. Yep, 4 spades is making. So this will be a push. The other table ended up making 10 tricks and hearts. The 10 of hearts does fall. So I imagine they lost a spade and 2 clubs. Oh my! Well, we're seeing some last-minute pushes from some of the teams on the scoreboard. While Declare plays out this hand, let's take a look at the current standings, which these do update as boards get played. But now Iceland 1 is in 4th place, but Gillis is still hanging on to 3rd because Allfree has fallen back in their matchup. Let's take a look at where they're standing. Yeah, Pharma Service has picked up, or something's going on in this match. I can't really tell. Yeah. Pharma Service has picked up a game swing. So they're up 13-0 in that matchup. And Allfree is only earning 5 VPs currently. We thought that that might be an easier matchup for them. But so they're in 5th. Firm is not that far behind anymore. They're only a couple of VPs back. Let's take a look at how their match is going currently. They're 10-8. So Firm could easily take this if they pick up a game swing on some of these next couple of boards. They are through board 7 of 10 in this match. And then Nettleton might be a little bit far behind, but yeah, these are the teams that are currently fighting for 2 places. 4 teams. Upright Bridge Champs and DeBoden looks like they're cemented in their positions. We'll check back in on that in just a second. But I will keep you updated. So North tried the Ace of Hearts at trick 2. It got roughed. And then Declare is now going about pulling some trumps. You think they'll all be free to go? So the way that it is set up, as far as I could tell, is that they subdivide it into brackets based on your finishing position in the round robin. So everyone's going to be playing tomorrow, but they'll be playing against the people who finished in like the 4-team group that they were a part of. If I could read the conditions of contest correctly, and I was just skimming it yesterday. But that's what I think is happening. So if all free finishes in 5th, then they'll be playing in a 5th through 8th knockout match for, I guess, master points or something. I mean, I don't know what they get if they do well. It does seem a little bit weird to set things up that way, but I think that's the way things work. So I didn't carefully examine the conditions of contest. That's true. Yeah, that's what I think, Goomla. That 1st through 4 plays for 1st through 4th, 5th through 8th plays for 5th through 8th, and so on. I don't know what happens because there's 22 teams. Maybe there's a 6-team playoff in the bottom of the standings. But that's what I got out of it. Board 9 of this set, board 19 overall on the segment. North-South got to a no trump at the other table, made 8 tricks. The diamond suit does come home in no trump. There are 8 tricks total, but it looks like East-West will be able to set up clubs in time before Declare gets a heart trick going, or a spade. So this might be a push. South opens a no trump. I mean, okay, maybe it's not going to be a push. 2 clubs, 2 diamonds, and is North inviting or is North bidding game with 2 aces? 9 high card points. Probably just invite. The aces are in short suits. No, Builda bids the no trump game, and now it's going to be on West to find a club lead at trick 1. That's not so obvious with that Jack 10 9 third of spades. I think we could see a spade lead, and this might be another game swing going the way of DeBoden. Wow. Is there a Kaka emote? Let me see. Okay, but really, do I need this emote? Is this the emote that I need on my channel? No. No, we don't need this. Shift, I think you're getting overruled on this one. We don't need it, but it is the emote that I want. Personally, I'm not too attached to that emote. Yeah, Jack of Spades holds trick 1, and now it's too late. Declare does have that 9th trick set up. 3 spades, 5 diamonds, and 1 club. Yeah, spade to the queen and king. All right, enjoy your lurk, Shift. We only have a couple more boards to play anyway. But the plan would be to probably come back for maybe the finals tomorrow. You're just happy you got Copium Truck? We're a wholesome bridge stream, are we? It's true, kind of. We're a little bit of a wholesome bridge stream. More so than I would say a lot of the other ones. Actually, is that true? Like, how many other bridge streams do I know? Not sure. Also, I don't watch other bridge streams, so maybe it's on me. I'm not familiar with the sphere of influence that Bridge Twitch has. Declare doesn't know that the spades are friendly, but might suspect. Either way, I'm pretty sure we just need to play a diamond to the ace and a diamond right now. and see what happens when we cash 3 top diamonds. Just Rabid Bean and me. Good choices. I'm more wholesome than Humper. I'm not sure. Does he still stream? I haven't really seen him play all that much. I think I'm following him on Twitch. Also, go back to work. Don't you have things to do? It's like almost 9 a.m. for you. You gotta clock in. East-West are getting cooked. Man, I mean, they really are. Have they really done anything all that bad? Board 17, I think they did something reasonable. What happened in the other room? 2 spades, take out double, 4 spades, and North just forgot to double. That's a little bit sad. Where am I from? Well, I'm on the East Coast, US. I'm currently very close to the capital, Washington, D.C. That's where I moved. Nice. Yeah, we don't talk about the geopolitical climate, but nice might not be the word that most people would use to describe what's going on in the capital. Fortunately, I don't have cops outside my door, at least not yet. We haven't instilled military police like all over the country. It's just in a bunch of the big major cities. Schultz is really deep in the tank on this. You've only been to DC a few times. It was fun. DC normally is a pretty great place. The National Mall is awesome with a bunch of the Smithsonians. If you like visiting museums, I definitely went as a kid all the time because I grew up in this area. We had school field trips and whatnot. But there was also a lot of... There's a lot of reasons to go as an adult as well. The exhibits are still interesting to take a look at. Maybe you're not so enthralled with dinosaurs anymore, but I think a lot of the prehistoric stuff is still pretty cool. But yeah, currently right now, there is a bit of a mess going on in the nation's capital. Yeah, Schultz is just like, it is really killing me with this pace of play. Although I will say so far, I don't think that he has done too much that we can complain about. Like, yes, maybe we can complain about him making 3-0 on board 15. But he's also sitting at the table. Maybe he has a read on players, right? That's something that we can never really find out when it comes to Vugraph, is like what the actual table action is happening. That was one of the really nice things I liked when I was on the WBF stream for the Bermuda Bowl, is we actually got to see the players on the table. I thought that was really cool. And I hope that we can do some more of that, because that really does matter to how the play works out. Why are we playing a club to the ace? Yeah, the ace of clubs was a dubious play. It saved Declare a hard guess, which I think Declare would have gotten wrong, by the way. But, you know, fine. It costs, what, 500 and 150, 350 would have been 8 imps, so it cost 4 imps. They're still winning the event. So ultimately, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day, I don't think. 7 of spades cashes. Oh, Declare played a heart to the queen. Yo, what are we doing? Dude. Oh, I'm losing my mind. Or maybe Declare just led the queen of hearts. I mean, either way. I guess it's fine. There's no way to lose more than 3 heart tricks. Yeah, seems okay. All right, the jack of diamonds falls. Declare can claim. All the diamonds run. 9 tricks, and another 7 imps to Deboden, cementing their position in first, I believe. A Prey Bridge Champs has finished their matchup, and Gillis looks like they might be out of the top 4. No prize money for them. But there's still a couple of boards to play, so it's going to be a close match between Firm and Iceland. Firm needing to pick up a couple of VPs, but really one game swing would do it. This is the last match of the day and the last match of the entire round robin. Round 21 out of 21 among the 22 teams. So tomorrow is going to be the semifinals and finals for the event. West opens a diamond, East bids a spade, South will come in with 3 hearts. I guess I'll just probably go 3 spades past 4 spades. There are players who would bid 4 hearts here as South. I don't think that it's a great bid in between 2 bidding opponents with a weak heart suit. But some people like to be aggressive with these hands, especially with the extra shape. 7-4 is pretty nice. So I like Schultz's bid, 3 hearts. And we should see a push, right? There's... No, 4 spades can go down. Oh, man. Well, I think we try and beat it as South. I think we lead a club here. Like, a heart is playing partner for the heart ace, and that's got to be a lot less likely than partner having, like, the ace-jack of clubs or something, and taking 2 club tricks and giving us diamond roughs. It should be a one-day semi and one-day final with money on the line. I mean, I think it doesn't really matter whether or not money is involved with how many boards you want to play. It's not always that we want to pick the best team to earn the prize, right? Like, it's a lot more attractive even to get more teams to sign up if there's a little bit of like slot machine roulette involved, right? Because if the best team is always going to win, then a bunch of teams wouldn't be interested in paying an exorbitant entry fee to play in an event where they can't win the prize. So I think from that perspective, it's already good that we did get a heart lead, though, by the way, from Schultz. So I understand the heart lead, but I think a club is probably better if we're looking to get 2 diamond roughs to beat the contract immediately. But 620, and then, oh, Allard versus Firm is on. There's 2 boards to go. Okay, pivotal match. Firm is in 3-0, and they've made it. Declare is picking off the diamond suit. Also, Declare pitched a diamond. But 7 imps to Firm, is this going to be enough to catapult them into 4th place, overtaking Iceland? They are currently, so before this board is in, Firm is behind by 2 VPs on 4th place. Gillis is definitely out because Iceland has finished their matchup. They're at 210 boards completed. I mean, I guess Allfrey could fall a little bit, but probably they aren't going to slip 5 VPs or whatever it would be to get Gillis back in. But Firm, yeah, they might pick up 2 VPs based on that 7 imps that just came through. On to the last board, and we've already seen that 4 spades can be beaten. It went down in the other room. So a big opportunity for Allard here. They get to 3-0. But this contract has no play with the diamond split. Okay. Wow. So this will be a push on the last board. And that means that, well, Firm might have done it. I'll keep an eye on the scoreboard. Yes, they are in 4th. They barely overtook with that one board. So unless there's a score correction, Firm is going to be our 4th place finisher, taking on DeBoden, Apres, Bridge Champs, and Allfrey tomorrow in their semifinals and finals matchups. I guess the one thing that I would just touch on again about like the idea of money tournaments. Like, I think you just set up a tournament and play the tournament however the conditions of contest suggest. Like, sure, people might prefer to have longer semis and finals matchups and fewer boards played in the round robin. Like, for example, if we could have done the round robin in 4 days instead of 5, maybe we play, instead of 10 board matches, 8 board matches, and then take the top 4. I mean, there are trade-offs. Like, could we extend the competition a day? Yeah, probably. And make the semifinals a full day and the finals a full day. And that would be a little bit more preferable, I think, for players that want to ensure that the better team wins more often, which is maybe a good thing. But I don't think it matters that money is on the line, right? I mean, same for the Bermuda Bowl. There's no money for winning the Bermuda Bowl other than the kind of respect you get and possibility to get hired on professional teams in the future for those sorts of accomplishments. But you just set up a tournament and people will play in the tournament if they think that it's a worthwhile tournament, and they won't otherwise. Money incentivizes more people to play because then there's a prize fund. But of course, with we talked about like the ludicrous amount of prize fund in comparison with the entry fees yesterday. And that is going to be a major point against people continuing to play in the event. So I suspect that what was I going to say? I suspect that it doesn't really matter whether or not you have monetary prizes on how you should run the event. I don't think that that should have an effect on things. Just in general. So it's like whether or not there was prize money, people should feel free to express their opinion on whether or not you want to be playing full day matches for the semis and finals, or how long the round robin needs to be. But you incentivize people to play in your tournaments and people will show up. I think that's the ultimate thing at the end of the day. So you have to make the entry fee worthwhile to enter, and then whatever sort of prizes and prestige come from it, you need to make that worth the entry fee. But hopefully we can get more prize money bridge tournaments. I mean, if we get prize money bridge tournaments, I might just do that as my job then. Like, if I can make a full-time living just playing for prizes, I would probably do that because it feels like I'm failing at everything else. Sadly. But that's the sad truth. So what happens on a heart switch? I guess we're still just down 1, right? You go up with the heart ace. We can no longer pick up 4-0 diamonds with South. Oh, but Lorenzini decides to try by cashing the king anyway. All right, bunch of rounds of diamonds, and the spades do split. So fortunately for Declare, he still ends up down 1, but this is a push. And Firm is our 4th place finisher, it looks like. There's still one match going on. All Free is playing up against, I forget who, Pharma Service. But I think All Free's going to be able to hang on. 3-0, down 1 for a push. I'm curious how they ended up beating 4 spades in the other room. I guess we'll never find out. But it was played by East. I imagine that means South led a club. Club over, diamond rough, club over, diamond rough. And that would do it. Okay. Well, final results here as they come through. De Boden wins the round robin, so they get an extra, I think it was €3,000 prize for being the 1st place finisher. They will also earn some money tomorrow, depending on where they end up. 1st through 4th do get prize money.